Hello there, Des Kelly here from GMIT Letterfrack, and welcome along to another of our DCG SolidWorks tutorials. Before we begin, if you'd like to find out more information about the degree programs we offer in furniture design, wood technology or teacher education, then please see our Facebook or Twitter pages. So this is the focus project of this video. In fact, we have two of them. We have an Allen key and a Twisted Bangle. And by completing these projects, we're going to learn how to carefully locate sketches and fully define sketch geometry. We're going to use the swept boss base feature to generate the main profile and main solid you can see in each of the pictures. We'll use the twisted sweep to generate the bottom shape, which is a twisted rope-like effect. And I also want to show you how to edit sketches and features after they have been applied. And we'll finish both videos by adding a material appearance to both parts. Now before we begin, the images we've seen on the last screen are the precursors to the much more advanced swept boss base and swept surface features, both of which I will cover in future tutorials. But before you attempt those more advanced features, please make sure you're proficient at the basic swept boss base features. Okay, so let's begin. Now moving over to SolidWorks, we're going to open up a new part by going to File, New and Part, and then pressing OK. And to begin, we will start a sketch of a line and be sure to start that sketch on the top plane. Now it's very important that we know exactly where in space we're starting this. The top plane, the front plane and the right plane all intersect each other, and the only point they share is the origin, this very center point at the middle of all of them. So we'll begin our sketch on the top plane, hit the space bar to look at 90 degrees to the plane, but we'll make sure to start our sketch at the origin. So draw a line starting at the origin, vertically upwards, horizontally across, and vertically upwards like so. Tap Escape to close the command. By the way, these green tags show us that this line is vertical, this line is horizontal, and this line is vertical. So use the Smart Dimension tool to tell this line to be 50 mm. Click this line, position the dimension and type in 50, press the green tick, and also this line needs a value and it's going to be 150. Tap Escape to close the line command, the dimension command I should say. Now let's fillet the corners here. So I want to use a sketch fillet and I want to set this to a value of 15. But what I will do is I will just fillet this corner for now. I'm going to simulate a mistake. I do want to fillet this corner, but I pretend to forget it for now. So press the green tick and close the sketch. So there we have one sketch, and it's important now that you tap Escape and make sure you clear the memory before we start another sketch, but this sketch will be on the front plane. And as I hover around for a moment, we should be able to see that the front plane intersects the original sketch that we've just drawn at 90 degrees at the origin. So by drawing on the front plane, starting at the origin, I will be drawing normal to this line. So let's do just that. Hit the space bar, hit normal to, and I'm going to draw a polygon. So use the polygon command. Make sure I change the number of sides to 6 and snap onto the origin. Now sometimes it does or does not actually snap this hexagon on perfectly horizontally or vertically. So what I like to do is deliberately leave it at an angle, tap Escape, click the top line, and then move over here and apply the horizontal relation. Now I know it's horizontal. And let's tell that what size to be. So click that top line and tell that to be a size of approximately 5 mm. So you can see now what we have. We have two sketches. Over in the feature manager we've got sketch 1, which was the shape of the Allen key, and sketch 2, which is the cross-sectional shape of it, which is the hexagon. So if we call up the swept boss base feature, go to Features, Swept Boss Base, sometimes it will automatically select this first profile for you, but sometimes you will have to select it yourself. So in the first box up here you can see it's asking us to define the profile. The profile is this closed shape. So either click it in the graphics window here or click it in the feature manager. When you select that, it then moves over and asks you to select the path. In our case, this is our path. So press the green tick to approve it. There's our Allen key, and you can see that the hexagonal shape has swept or transitioned itself along the path, creating a solid as it went. Where we had a fillet, it has used that fillet to round over the corner like a realistic bend, but where we had a sharp corner, it just mitered the Allen key. So as I said earlier, I want the fillet there, so I'm going to get back in and edit the sketch quite simply. So over here, right-click Sweep 1, select Edit Feature, and that allows me to not change the sketches, but the feature itself. So if I press the green tick on that to access the sketches, you can see they have been consumed by Sweep 1. You need to press the arrow beside Sweep 1, and sure enough, the two sketches are now visible. So if I right-click Sketch 1 and select Edit Sketch, I can now get back in and edit that sketch. I can change the values, or as I want to do, I can hit Sketch Fillet, 15mm, and put the sketch fillet onto that corner, press the green tick a couple of times to approve it, close the sketch, and now the update has been applied to the feature. And if I just turn this to a shaded view, and let's just go to Appearances, Metal, Steel, and we'll put on Polished Steel to the part, and there we have it. So moving over to a new part, let's draw the Twisted Bangle. We'll start in much the same way. We'll begin a sketch. This time we'll start a circle on the top plane, press the space bar and hit Normal 2. And I want to start the center point not at the origin but to the right hand side of the origin, and I want to place the point of the circumference on the origin. Then I will dimension the diameter of the circle to be 100. Again, just double check that the center point is still on the origin. You'll notice that it says underdefined. Why is it underdefined? Well, if I drag the center point of the circle, you can see why. It's locked onto the origin, but this point has not locked itself onto being horizontally aligned, and that is important. So what I'll do is deliberately drag it out of alignment, tap Escape to clear the memory, and I'm going to hold Control, and with Control held I will select the origin point and the center point of the circle, and then apply a horizontal relation. Now they're locked in horizontal alignment. So that's my initial sketch. I'll approve that. Tap Escape just to clear the memory, and begin a new sketch on the front plane. And this time I want to again use the polygon. I'll press spacebar and look at 90 degrees, but I do not want a hexagon, I want a triangle. So change the parameters to 3 sides and click and drag on a triangle. And I'm deliberately going to leave it crooked for a moment. Tap Escape. That will allow me to select the bottom line and deliberately put a horizontal relation in place. Now I know it's going to be horizontal. So Smart Dimension the bottom of that to be 5mm. And you can see it goes fully defined. Now I do not want to sweep this triangle around. This triangle is a construction. So I'll tap Escape to clear the memory, hold Control, and select all 3 sides of the triangle. With them selected, I will move over and select For Construction, turning all 3 of those to construction lines. And finally, I'm going to call up a regular circle, and I want to draw 3 of them. Snap each center point to one of the vertices of the triangle, and snap the circumference point to the origin. So start at the corner of the triangle, end at the origin, start at the corner of the triangle, end at the origin. Now this will not sweep as it is. I will need to trim out and make sure I only have a single closed profile. So use the Trim Entities tool. I find it best when you use the Trim to Closest as opposed to any of the other ones. So start trimming away and making sure you have just a single closed profile. Remember, those hidden lines are effectively invisible to the feature. You have to be careful. If you leave any of these small lines behind you, believe it or not, it will cause the feature not to work in a moment. So trim out all of those. Should just take a moment. So there we have it. By trimming out some of the lines, the sketch is now underdefined. But what you can do, I know it's in the right position, but what you can do is go to this Display Delete Relations, press the drop down arrow and select Fully Defined Sketch. Then press the green tick and it should fully constrain the sketch for us. So close the sketch. What we now have is a pair of sketches, path and a profile. So if we go to Features, Swept Boss Base, select this profile and then select this as the path and press the green tick to approve it, it will generate a regular sweep for us. But we of course want a twisted sweep. So let's edit that to make it twist. So over here I can see the sweep 1 feature. This time instead of editing this sketch, I want to actually edit the feature itself. So right click sweep 1, edit feature, and the option I'm looking for is in the options box. So expand that down with the arrow. And here you can see profile twist is currently set to none. I want to change that to specify twist value. And rather than specifying degrees, I want to specify the number of revolutions. And I can use the up arrow to cycle through all the different variations. So I'm going to put on 7, maybe 8 revolutions. Maybe 7. When you're happy with it, press the green tick. And there you have it. A nice rope effect. So our students in Letterfrack use this a lot if they're putting a rope-like carving or effect onto a fireplace or a piece of furniture, but it's a very good and efficient way of getting quite a complicated piece of geometry. So again, it's just, in my opinion, not finished until you put the material onto it. So I have my polished steel, drag and drop that onto it, and there you have it. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from the videos, and if you're interested in learning more, please see the other videos available on our GMIT Letterfrack YouTube channel.